So let's say that the buyer checks both liquidated damages and arbitration. And the seller says, I don't like either one of those. I'm not going to initial either one of those. So, and takes them, just doesn't initial them. So what we want to do at that point is start communicating with the other agent and try to come to a meeting of the minds of, well, wait a second, is there a way that the seller would agree to, liquidated damages and arbitration? And if they say absolutely not, they're not going to, then the buyer has to decide, because if both parties have not initialed on that purchase agreement, you don't have it. It's not there. It's just not there. Or it could become something, a dispute down the line. So Mona always says, you need to clean it up. So let's say the buyer goes, okay, fine, I want this property. I don't care about liquidated damage. I don't care about arbitration or one or the other. Then put that in, agree to it. Go ahead and agree to it. If you're representing the seller and you're countering it, then you need to counter it to where this buyer and seller agree that liquidated damages and or arbitration are not part of this agreement. I mean, that's the best way to actually say it, according to Mona. So if that's confusing for you today, just let us know if you end up in that issue. So, all right. Insurance challenges. I know, Natalie, that was you again. And I think we can probably chime in, but go ahead.
Well, where it started, everyone, I just wanted to share is working with a business manager, and they wanted to really add to the offer about insurability. And so I went into the contract and found a tiny little sentence that talks about insurability. I think it's paragraph 12, and it relates to paragraph 14. But it's a really weak sentence for insurance. And so a lot of insurance policies right now in Montecito are astronomical. It's pretty wild, the numbers that are coming up. And so buyers and their representatives, business managers mostly, are wanting to protect their clients, because any property is insurable, but some of these premiums are insane, and these buyers want an out if for some reason they can't get acceptable, and I wouldn't call it affordable, because if someone's spending $10 million, they can afford it, but they may not want to. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody's aware that if you're dealing with higher end properties, I think it would be a great idea if you have an opportunity to reach out to your favorite insurance agent and try to get at least a ballpark of what you might be dealing with, because you just don't want your clients getting totally surprised. I mean, I fortunately knew what was coming and I warned them, but they were still shocked at the fact that I was right. And so we've now come up with, not me, the business manager came up with a little sentence to add to other terms, just so that if they do get a quote that they're not okay with, then they have a right to get out of the transaction. So insurance is becoming much more difficult because of all the fires in California again. So I just wanted to bring it up to make sure you're all aware, especially selling areas, like San Antonio Creek, even, those areas are going to probably start to see some pretty interesting premiums coming up. So.
Now, can I ask a question about what the business manager wrote? Did what he wrote or she write give the buyer an out after they've removed their investigation contingency?
No, it was for during the investigation contingency, but it was really just making it so that the buyer had the right to approve the insurance policies that were coming forward, basically. Okay. Because the little tiny sentence in paragraph 12 for our insurance portion, and if I should have pulled it up so I had it, but it's not very strong as far as protecting your client if they wanted to cancel on insurability. So it was just I mean, I know people cancel for whatever reason, and most of the time people don't care, but I think nowadays it's just people are caring more. The cancellations, I feel, are people are just canceling for no reason now, and it's getting more and more like that. So
this may be obvious, but if you're representing a buyer, you want to remind them that, or advise them that they should be checking on their insurance right away.
immediately.
Right.
Sometimes it doesn't come up till near the end when the lender says, oh, by the way, you need insurance. And
Right.
then they're getting the quotes with that. Also, if you're a listing agent, get an offer, nudge the buyer's agent to encourage their buyer to investigate right away. Because if you're gonna have a deal fall out over it, you want to know it sooner than later.
Yeah, and what I've been doing, because we have a lot of listings that are in the high fire zones, and so I've been working with an insurance agent, and I've been getting some quotes ahead of time. Obviously, these are just generic quotes, but it gives people an idea, because we have listings that the premiums are 80 to 100,000 a year. I don't want buyers coming in negotiating and then going, oh my gosh, I thought I was going to be spending 10 to 15,000 a year. Now it's 100. We can't. So we've been preparing our sellers for that too. So I think if you're a listing agent, you have a lot of listings, you should do yourself and your seller a favor, because their premium is nowhere near what the next buyer's premium will be. So I think it's just better, because then you're upfront in negotiations too, and it's not a renegotiation. So.
And I think this has come up obviously because of all the fires that we've had in California. Luckily not here, but it still affects California. So and that'd be a good thing to share. Anybody who might have a good insurance person that they're dealing with that is, some reasonable quotes out there, no matter what the price range. So that would be great. Okay. These seem to be Natalie's. It was her weekend. So if a seller dies in the house,
All right. So I would just urge all of you villagers that, we live in a small town, and the rumor mill, unfortunately, is like 1 degree of separation, it seems. And so I would just urge all of us to continue to be the best, and to not don't interfere. If it's not your listing, you shouldn't be talking about anybody's death in a listing, because there are rumors about certain properties where somebody has passed away, and the listing agent is potentially saying one thing, and then the rumor mill is saying another, and then the buyer finds out through the rumor mill and feels deceived, yet it's not the truth, and it blows deals. And so I just feel like everybody needs to really be respectful, one, of people passing in homes. That's, it's a big deal. And two, I don't think that it is anybody's business, unless you are representing the seller, to be talking about a passing of anybody in a house, because unfortunately a lot of the things that are out there, as we know, because we live in a world of unfortunate social media where things are just not true, that they're not true, but they're blowing deals right now. So I would just urge everybody to be respectful, and if it's not your listing, zip it. And yes, Doug Harlow, Allstate, Tim, thank you. He's really good. And then let's see, Elizabeth, there was just a really interesting New York Times daily podcast called A Deadly Tinderbox that delves into fire insurance. Okay. So anyway, as far as death in homes, obviously we're required to disclose it for up to 3 years. And I would just urge you all to not interfere with anybody else's listings. That's all.
well, and I want to chime in on that as well, because having this discussion, I think, with Natalie, even before this weekend, it's interesting because we have we have buyers who say, I will not buy a house that someone died in, and they're looking at houses from the turn of the century. Chances are, if there were a lot of occupants in that house over the years, someone died in that house, right? And so some of that is a little tough to to sort of go, oh, okay, well, I can't guarantee that someone didn't die in this house over the last 100 years or whatever. And the same goes with even, 25 years ago. But I think that, sadly, our community has had, and I'm sure others have too, some suicides. And there are some people that will not, or there's that just not feel comfortable with a house that may have had a suicide, whatever kind. And, I don't know that I think that's something you should discuss with them, but maybe so. If you, let's say you have a list of houses that you're going to show them and you know that someone passed away, if it's from natural causes or suicide or whatever, you might want to say to the buyer, are you okay me showing you houses that someone has passed away? And then if they go further and say, well, was it natural causes or was it, violent, whatever it is, because if you get yourself into an escrow and then find out, it's just not fun. Let's not get into a situation if you truly have a buyer who is uncomfortable with that kind of thing. It's hard to deal with it when you're in escrow already, because they think we know everything and they think that we should find out everything for them. But anyway, any comments, Bob?
Sorry. Tim Walsh, I think, might want to say something. And then I just wanted to add, now listen, if you get a listing and there was like a double homicide in the house, then you're probably likely going to want to share that with everybody ahead of time, because you can't necessarily, that's going to be in the news, stuff like that. So there was a house on the Mesa years ago. I mean, we heard the shots. It was terrible. And so, it has a reputation, that home. Some people, it doesn't bother, but you just have to make, even if it's at 3 years or later, if you list a house that had a murder that was publicized, please talk to your managers, because you probably still want to disclose it, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. So Tim, did you want to say something?
Yeah, so speaking about that, there's a house here in Montecito 37 years ago. There was a hit, and it was all over the papers. And when it last sold, I saw the agent in Hawaii at a bar, and he was bragging that he sold this house. And I said, "Will you disclose that double homicide?" And he didn't have not a clue what was happening. It was all over the papers. They got the people in Israel. They had trials all over the country. It was an internal family thing. But, neighbors talk. So even if someone, natural causes is one thing. But if it's anything violent, I would still disclose it personally. Because neighbors will tell you, and there's always that neighbor that, that Karen neighbor that's down the street that's been there 70 years and sits at her window, and she'll tell every new owner exactly what's going on in the neighborhood. So it's better to come from you up front. That's it.
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate that. And that kind of takes us into number 5, which is, and Natalie mentioned this, just being responsible for what you're saying and careful not to interfere with other people's listings and transactions, or even rental agreements. You have to be, you just have to be that person that sort of rises above it. And again, I think social media, we love it and we hate it. And I think that as realtors, and I've mentioned this before, I think you are held to a higher standard, and you need to be much more careful. I don't understand it. And I have Facebook and I have Instagram, but it's usually something company related or a happy thing or whatever that goes out from me, or happy birthday, but not. I just don't think that you want to be putting out there things such as your something that you did that maybe you're proud of, but it's real estate related. It's probably best to keep that within your own little farm or family. I think you can do that, right, if you have your close friends. But to put it out there to everybody, no matter what you say, even if you're saying it and you're thinking it's awesome, it's going to be construed by somebody else as not awesome, period, because everybody has a different opinion. So I just caution you to be really careful on when you're going to post something that you think, you know, is relevant or helpful to you. And, you know, that's all I'm saying. The other part of that is, you know, if we're lucky, we get to go on a vacation, right? But when you go on your vacation, you know, you might, if you're a busy agent especially, you might not want to post that, because guess what? Your buyers and sellers, they don't want to hear that you're on vacation. They want to know that you're trying to sell their house or take care of their transaction. So someone said to me years ago, when we got cell phones, no one needs to know where I'm at, you know? So you can conduct business from wherever you're at, but again, yeah, you want to share that with your close friends, and that's fine. But if you put it out there to everyone and everyone sees it, it could come back to bite you. So just to, I think I might have talked about that previously, but I thought I'd bring it up again. All right, so since Natalie and Bob and I have been checking paperwork in paperless, I thought it would be good, and please, you guys chime in about the duplicates in paperless that are there. So either one of you have any comments about that? I certainly do, but I don't, I thought I'd let you guys talk about it.
Well, I'll just say, I mean, I'm guilty of it too, so I can add myself to the list of agents that are guilty of doing this. But now, looking through the files, I realize how frustrating it must be for these TCs to be looking at all this. So I would just urge you, one is we need to really be responsible. We have a lot of paperwork we're dealing with, and our clients trust us, but you are legally obligated to get paperwork into that paperless file within 48 hours, everybody. So, when we're seeing these files come through at the very last minute, that's just, it's not a good practice. But more than that is people keep loading up the exact same form like 6 times, and they're not signed and they're not complete. And so if this is you, ask us for some help. Maybe we just need to do a little more training. Maybe you need a little help with to understand what we've tried to tell the TCs is when something is incorrect, they're trying to remember to attach it to the email they're sending you, so you can reference it immediately on your phone, see the PDF and go, oh, okay, that's what I need. Okay. But don't load up things that aren't complete, because then your file becomes very, very long, very confusing, and it just takes a lot longer for our TCs to be efficient. So I would just urge you to really pay attention to what you're loading up into paperless so that it's accurate. And please, we get paid really good money to do these transactions. Your paperwork is the #1 thing to keep you out of a lawsuit. So do it right, do it on time, and load it up on time. Bob?
Yeah, I would add, I see 2 times where there's a lot of duplicates. One is when both the buyer and seller's agents are village agents. So you have duplicates that way. So it's good to designate one of the agents as the one that uploads to paperless. So I just did a deal with Aaron Gillis, and I didn't put anything in paperless. I forwarded everything to Ruth Egley that was helping him with his paperwork. That way we didn't have the duplicates with that. Also, if you have an assistant, make sure both of you aren't doubling up with that. Again, I forward everything to my assistant to upload to PP, so we don't have trouble with that.
All right, thank you. Yes, I pardon me, did somebody say something? No? Okay, So thank you both so much for answering for talking about those topics. You know, we'll continue to do this. I think it's really helpful, especially you know, keeping us all going forward and not having to, you know, worry about, you know, what's happening that going in the next with the next group of new forms that are coming out. I think is what I'm trying to get to, because we are really you know, inundated with forms. We are getting more and more of them. And again, like Natalie said, reach out to us if you're having trouble with your with getting your forms into paperless. And you know, we've got some agents out there that are awesome at completing their files on time and not loading everything up the last minute, because you can't expect RTCs to drop everything because your escrow is closing the next day. It's just not fair. So thank you all. Thank you both, Bob and Natalie, for that. Okay, so going to our agenda today, I want to thank our Teachers Fund donations from Crawford Spire, Jeff, Robert Watt, David McIntyre, Mark and Sheila Hunt. Thank you all for your donations, and I know some of that is coming to into the Teachers Fund fundraiser. So that's awesome. Thank you.
And sorry to interrupt, Renee, but we forgot she didn't make the agenda. Lindsay Drews, I believe, is her last name in the San Ynez office. Who's gonna?
Oh, is Lindsay here? Okay.
Yes. Sorry, Lindsay, that was me leaving
Leanne,
you
did
off
you
the
wanna-
agenda. Yeah, so sorry, Lindsay.
Okay.
I somehow didn't get that onto the agenda, but Lindsay, welcome. She is joining us in the Santa Ynez office and will be mentoring under Jenny Bradley. Lindsay has a background in architecture, architecture photography, and I think she's going to be an awesome asset to our team. So Lindsay, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself for a couple of minutes?
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Leanne. So like Leanne said, I studied architecture in school. I graduated about 10 years ago, and then I got into the nonprofit realm, got into government work, started photographing weddings, and ultimately photographing architecture, which kind of dubbed into my architectural background. And so worked with just a couple of agents here in the San Ynez Valley, and realized that I thought that I would really like real estate. And so I had been watching Village Properties from afar as I was studying my coursework, and I just loved what your guys' messaging was with the just the we do more and all of those commercials that I kept on seeing come across my TV screen. And so and I have to say that after the last after coming on board about 3 weeks ago, I realized that Village Properties really does do more for their new agents, and then also for all of your guys' clients. And so I'm excited to be on your team.
Welcome, Lindsay. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right. So yeah, don't be a stranger. Come down to Santa Barbara and Montecito every once in a while, and we'll come see you as well. So, and as I said before, you're in great hands with Jenny. So have fun with that.
Thank you.
So Leanne, I want to talk about our upcoming events and training.
Sure, just a reminder that we are in the middle of the Teachers Fund supplies drive. And thank you to so many of you agents who have either done the chalkboard signs for $250 or have donated wine for our drawing. Some of you have gone on to the actual supplies drive online and selected to purchase specific items for schools. We are getting really close to our $50,000 fundraising target. We would love to hit it. We would love to surpass it, actually. So please, if you haven't got involved, you can donate as little as $10 of supplies. We still need more wine. Bottles are valued at $25 or more. Drop those off at either my office or the Johnson's office in Santa Barbara. So yeah, we're very excited. We continue to see so many requests for help from our teachers. So thank you for everything you do. Tuesday, the training is how to do a great listing presentation. And Natalie and Marcy are going to be doing this time. And we are going to try doing a social distanced training in the courtyard at the Santa Barbara office. We would like you very much to register, and there is a link to register, just so we have an idea of how many chairs we need to get set out, etc. If you're a new agent, we do want you to take this class. And if you are a seasoned agent, these two do brilliant listing presentations. So you may find it really worthwhile to come and listen and pick up a few extra hints. Tuesday, it's the Association Tuesday Tips at noon. And they're going to be talking about improving your virtual presence on Zoom and LogMeIn, especially when you're working with your clients. Wednesday is the DIRT meeting. Thursday is Dine and Donate with the our association, and there's some information there. That's an evening event from 4 to 7 at Uncorked Restaurant. So that's what we've got this week, and look forward to having you all participate.
I just had one question on the class that Natalie and Marcy are going to conduct. Is there going to be a maximum, since I know the courtyard
Good question, Renee. We need to see how many people have registered, but yes, I would think probably we do need to have a maximum on that, and need to look at the space, but probably, yeah, we can get back to you. I'll send something out on that. And Callie also wanted to know if it was going to be recorded. You know, because it's, I guess we could try and do it. I'm not sure. Let me look at that. It's a live one. So, but perhaps we can work out a way to do that.
Okay.
Hadn't planned on it, but yes, we'll try that.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you all. So let's get to our agenda. And I think, Natalie, you were going to do the agenda for us this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. So holy moly, we need listings, guys, because that one's already on the sale part. So Lloyd, 1540 San Antonio Creek Road. Do you want to talk about it, or since it's in the sales, you don't care? Just kidding. Are you there, Lloyd?
Back on the market, I will certainly care.
It's back on the market?
I said if it does come back on the market.
Oh, right. Yeah. All right. Well, let's just keep good thoughts. It doesn't, right? Okay, so really quick, Marcy Bazzani does have, I believe it's a pocket, Marcy, tell me if that's not true, but it's a historic home in the Upper East, $3,995,000 turnkey, ADU, Mills Act, rooftop deck with amazing ocean views, incredible property. So if you have a buyer for that, get in touch with Marcy Bazzani. And are there any other new listings that we missed?
I think Jan Bannister, I think. Natalie,
Yes.
looking chat.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
I have a Hope Village home coming on the market that is right by Lacumba Plaza. Greg Leach just had one close. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, about 1,500 square feet. It has a patio and small enclosed yard, beautiful central air conditioning. You're within a mile radius of everything. And it will be priced under $950. I'm probably going to have it priced tomorrow. It will come on coming soon and probably showings this weekend. Thank you.
Thanks. Anybody else? I don't see anything else in the chat, so I'm going to move on to price changes. Riskin Partners, do you guys want to say anything about East Mountain? I love that house. Anyone there? Well, that seems like a really good price. I think it sold for, I feel like it sold for more than that when it sold last time, but maybe I'm wrong. Back on the market, Hillside Drive. Connie, are you around? Do you want to say anything? Okay. Cayecita, that's ours. Unfortunately, the buyers decided that they wanted a brand new house, so they hit us up with the most unreasonable request for repairs I've seen in 25 years. So we told them no thank you, and we are back on the market. So call me if you have any questions on that. All right.
Natalie,
Yes.
Natalie,
Hi,
it's
Chris.
Betty. Hi. Carol Krickenberg just texted me and wanted me to let everyone know that 1129, I think Crestline is going to be coming back on the market.
Oh
So,
no, that's too
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
She had multiple offers too.
She
so.
did, and she had a backup too. And yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's what's going on. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know. Thank you.
Okay, well, that's good. That's a great property. Somebody,
Yeah,
I
it
showed
is.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody can have an opportunity to
Exactly.
sell that.
Opportunity. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. Okay, I'm going to go through the sales really quick. Congratulations to Ruth Ann. Multiple offers on Ballard. Our Banner Avenue we put into escrow, and I think we could have had multiple offers, but we didn't. Patty and Michelle on Cougar Ridge. Congratulations. Barbara on D Street. Anna on Egret. John Sainer on La Cumbre Circle. Michelle on North Refugio. Michelle again on Samantha Drive. There's Lloyd's on San Antonio Creek Road with multiple offers. Yeah, that price range is starting to get the multiple offers. Amy on State Street. That's in Estancia, I believe. Ken Adam on Village Meadows Drive. Bob out on Ward Drive. Bill and Justin on Whitney. And we sold John Henderson, so we should be flipped here, his listing on Whitney, and there were not multiple offers. Any other sales we missed? Okay. Congratulations on our closed escrows. Monza Loft team, Armidos, Terry and Marcos on C Street. I think these are, well, that one was Ventura, right? Aaron and Greg on Camino del Rio. David on Carlo, Ruth Ann on Chapala, Aaron and Marilyn on Creekside. Nice. Allison and Michelle on Elderberry. I know that was a doozy. Well done, ladies. Jim on Emerson. Crawford Spire on Eucalyptus Avenue. Simi on Hollister. Mary Lou on East Mitchell Terrena. David on Nisted. Jeff on Old Mill Road, Susan and Brian on State Street. Nice one, John on Sycamore Canyon. That was a cool house. Robert on West Valerio, and Michelle and Ken Adam again, and Carrie on Valley Oak Road. That's a great week. We need to go get some listings, everybody. So call your old sellers, look up expireds, and start sending out letters. Let's see. Anything else on here? I guess Jackie, right? Are we gonna get to Jackie? Are you there, Jackie?
Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Okay, great. No, my dogs are barking. I just put them in the other room. So, okay, so here are the weekly stats. 12 coming soon. 46 new listings. So that's down a little too. So across the market down. We were 62 last week, 54 the week before. So I've got some information later that might help us reach out to some past clients to get listings. So 12 coming soon, 46 new listings, 24 price changes. Pendings, 55 pendings. 17 under $1 million. 21 to 2 million. 9 2 to 4. And 9 4 to 8. That's a high number. Normally, the last number of weeks we've been around 6 3 8, so 9. That price point is moving along very steadily. So the high price pending is actually came through pending and sold. 1570 East Valley Road. listed at 7,495,000, closed at 7,307,000, and it sold in 2015 for 7,970,000.
Is
So
that Crystal's?
yes,
Coming soon. Yeah, she added the coming soon.
right. So that came on, and yeah, came on as a pending and closed. 62 closed escrow, 23 under $1 million, 19 1 to 2, 12 2 to 4, 7 4 to 8, and 1 over 8. Yeah,
John's.
there's that category again. So over here, what do I have? Oh no, I have Padaro. Yeah, I guess John's has not gone through MLS yet, so we'll catch up on that next week stat wise. But Padaro closed. This is Barbara Kutnick's. Same list, same sold price, 23,750,000, 6,000 square feet. It sold in 2015 for 19 million. And it was on last year, starting in June of last year, and did come through as stat purposes, sold, closed escrow. 5 expired, 8 canceled, 2 withdrawn, and 16 back on the market. So I just sent you all the monthly chart comparing, I've got it through the end of August 2020 compared to August 2019. And so you can kind of look at the areas you're dealing with, but here's Hope Ranch, like, came out way ahead in terms of appreciation. So Hope Ranch is up 19% from this time a year ago. And this is year to date. This is not just the month of August. This is year to date. Median price in Hope Ranch is currently 3,485,000. And again, you have this in your email. A year ago, it was 2,924,000. So that's across like I can't remember how many, but 30 odd sales. The whole market median's up 12% from a year ago. Currently at 1,445,000, 497. The median prior to 1918, we were kind of stuck at that 1,250, 190, but we've really popped for 2020. Montecito up 11%. Montecito was up 14% median a couple of months ago, but so that adjusts down depending, where the bulk of the sales are, but it's up. Santa Barbara's up 6%. So there you go. So back to what Natalie was saying, cool properties you had on 2 years ago, there've been rentals. This is a phase in time almost unprecedented in terms of buyer desire. So hopefully that'll be helpful. That's it.
Thank you, Jackie.
Okay.
Jackie, appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anybody want to share something good that happened in the last week or so? Don't want to forget that.
I do. I do.
Jackie, okay.
I have a brand new, I hate saying great nephew. I'm a great aunt. Yeah. So a great nephew in England, Leonard George, last name Cousins. He was 8 pounds. So he'll be Lenny. So hopefully I'll see him sometime when I can get over there.
Congratulations. That's fun.
My niece, who's my goddaughter, had a baby.
Yeah. Oh, baby.
I had one quick correction on the agenda. Sorry, our closed sales on Camino del Rio, that was actually David Magid and Greg Leach. Aaron Gillis, I'm not sure how his name got on there, but anyway, I just wanted to give David his credit where credit's due on Camino del Rio closing. So congratulations.
Absolutely. Yes, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, all right. I think we all need to go have some more fun out there, so we have something to report. So if anybody has anything wants to share anything during the week, let us know, and we'll chat about it next time. Anyway, thank you all for staying on the call. It's almost 10:45, and have a great week, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you, Renee.